Hello and welcome to Scooped, the ice cream review podcast where we try all the cone creations, signature slushes, and frozen foods on the East Coast to give you the ultimate scoop. My name is Holly Hagman, and with me is my co-host, husband, and ice cream connoisseur, Paul Percibali. Paul, what happened when the ice cream princess grew up?
Ice cream princess when she grew up.
Yeah.
Okay. She became an ice queen.
Oh my god, you're so close.
Oh, I really?
She became the Dairy Queen.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty good too. I kind of feel like either one of those would work.
Yeah, in a way. But yes, the ice cream princess is now the Dairy Queen.
Makes sense. Okay.
Thank you. What do you think? Do you think I wrote that, or do you think that's from the internet?
I think you wrote it.
Okay, you're half right, because this one is kind of a combo.
So it's something that existed and you just tweaked it a little bit?
I tweaked it a little bit, yeah. It had something, it was worded weirder than this on the internet, but I was like, I like the concept, so I changed the wording.
Very good.
So it's not plagiarism.
Not completely.
Technically, because I am paraphrasing here. But anywho, in our last episode, we reviewed Magnifico's ice cream, which we placed at the D tier level. Sadly. I still feel bad.
I feel really bad about it too. Yeah. But we're
not backtracking.
No, we're not backtracking, and we're trying to be honest.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not like we got sponsors, so we don't have any reason to lie.
We have no loyalty to anyone.
Yeah, which is good for just the sake of, being honest.
Yeah. But we placed them at the D tier level. For this episode, we are reviewing a chain restaurant famous for turning ice cream into faces. Friendly's Family Restaurant and Ice Cream.
Yes. A really nice, very rare, out in the wild kind of place these days.
And we will talk about how rare they are when we get to the background information.
I feel like they're the polar opposite of, Baskin Robbins or Dairy Queen or Cold Stones. It's just it's like those places, there's literally thousands upon thousands of them throughout the entire world. And Friendly's is I don't know, less than 1,000 probably in the world at this point.
You didn't look at the notes, right?
I didn't look at
browsed?
I never browse the notes.
Okay.
I like being surprised when I'm talking to you about this stuff.
All right. Take a guess now.
How many there are?
How many Friendly's as of... Wait, shut your eyes for a sec.
All right, go ahead.
As of... Yeah, okay, as of the present time, right? Between 2020 and now.
Present day.
How many...
time.
How...
You don't know that reference.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, maybe some of my Dempa weirdos who, for whatever reason, might be listening to this will get that reference.
Okay, we'll see. But take a guess, how many Friendly's restaurants do you think are currently in operation in the United States?
I still think there's less than 1,000.
Give me a more concrete number
that
we will write down and see how close you are.
Let's say around 100.
100?
Is 100 close enough for you?
That's a good number. Okay, so I don't know where I'm going to put this.
All right.
But while
I think that
write this
just
down.
Based on our
You're drinking before
state?
The podcast?
No, just acid reflux probably.
I know, I'm kidding. We are not really... No. Side note, we're not alcoholics. Anyway.
And I don't drink at all.
Yeah.
I haven't drank any alcohol within the last 10 years.
Good for you.
Longer than that.
You should be proud of that.
Yes. And this is not because I'm a recovering alcoholic. No, it's just a personal choice for anyone listening.
It's just a choice. We don't really need to explain that, but
Well, it makes it sound
feels
like I'm some sort of
like
recovering alcoholic.
yeah, you had an issue or something. No, just a personal preference.
Yeah, just a personal preference based off of life experiences. Not mine, but learned from other person's experience. Right, let's leave it at that.
Okay.
Anywho, I feel like there's maybe 100, and that is based off of the fact there's only 2 in our state, and there are 50 states, so I don't know, I'm just making a blind guess based on that percentage. So, did you have the numbers though, right, honey?
I do, and we will get to that. It's at the end of the notes, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, we're going to go through all the other stuff, and then we'll get to the numbers. But, let's continue.
Okay. So, is this where I begin the background about the restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I am going to carefully scroll so I don't, spoil anything for myself. And here we go. Coming off of the website, we've been serving up ice cream and delicious fun since 1935. From burgers, sandwiches, and salads to kids meals. And salads to kid meals.
It's weird. The grammar is weird here.
Yeah, the grammar is really weird. That threw me off. I thought there was supposed to be an extra comma there.
Yeah, there probably should be, but that's a Friendly's issue, not a me issue.
I was about to say, I feel like someone...
Because I copy, paste, and put them in quotes, and that's what I do for the notes when I take stuff from the websites.
Yeah, I feel like they probably, don't have, a professional doing their website anymore.
Oh, they got a pretty nice website. I think they just probably missed a comma.
Alright, well, let's see. I mean, you would think that they would just make sure, the first sentence is done right, but, whatever. And salads to kids' meals, we've got something for every appetite. Satisfying your cravings at your local Friendly's family restaurant today. Our story. In 1935, the Blake brothers founded their first ice cream shop in Springfield, Massachusetts, and named it Friendly. Isn't that hilarious?
Is that picking up?
I bet it is. For anyone who doesn't hear this right now, yeah, they have to be hearing that. There's literally an ice cream truck passing by the front of our house.
Driving by at 7:30 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I think our neighbors have an in with the ice cream man.
I think that they're probably literally requesting the ice cream guy to show up.
Because they come a lot, and they always stop at our across the street neighbor's house. And it's always that music.
It's gotta be planned.
It's gotta be. Something's going on there. I don't know. It's fishy. Anyway, carry on talking about Friendlies.
Yeah.
Or Friendly, rather.
Yeah, I had to just point that out, though, because they would be wondering, why is the ice cream music playing in the middle of the episode? Anywho. Yes, the Blake brothers founded their first ice cream shop in Springfield, Massachusetts, and named it Friendly, singular. The name was a promise that the small ice cream shop would be a friendly place for families to enjoy a meal together.
Aww.
Yes. We still believe in that promise. Today you can find your long-time Friendly's favorites on the menu. From made-to-order Friendly's big beef burgers, all rights reserved, to the homemade ice cream at the end of your meal, we have dedicated our lives to making the Friendly's you remember one that your child, and theirs, can celebrate for years to come. Come to see what the Friendly's promise is all about.
Aw. I mean, I think that's really cute.
It is.
And we're going to talk about, the name transition is actually, a big part of the timeline. Because, as you'll see, the timeline for the Friendly's restaurant story is very long. We've got a lot of different companies acquiring it and doing their own thing with it, and then, moving it to where it is today.
Someone messed up. I don't know who, though.
Oh, we'll talk about that. But we're going to go through, not every single hit on the timeline, a lot of them, but this is what we have is pretty comprehensive. If you're interested in learning even more unique details, there is a full comprehensive timeline on the Friendly's website for you to browse at your leisure.
Fascinating.
But for now, we're going to talk about, starting in 1935, right? Paul read that in the background. The first friendly location opens. And then, I guess it does pretty well, because by 1950, right, it's still going strong. It becomes the first restaurant in all of New England that provides a take-home half-gallon of ice cream. That's like a notable thing on their timeline. They become the first people in the entire region of New England to, like,
take out ice cream?
To box up specifically the half-gallon size, which, for the record...
It's weird.
Is like the size you would buy at the grocery store, typically.
Oh, okay. Then that's not weird.
Right.
Well, I guess they're... I wonder if other people did it before them, or they were the trendsetters who, like... I don't know, started the whole thing.
I mean, and at least in New England, they were the trendsetters.
Okay.
Because it doesn't say, it says that's like a big part of they're the first ones
in
that region to do it.
And I could totally see this particular business with just like how the stores look on the inside of it being a New England store. It just has that classiness to it.
Yeah, I see that for sure. And we'll talk about New England at length when we get to our Connecticut episodes.
Right.
But New England has some really good ice cream, y'all.
And we're just big fans of New England.
Definitely. So, and that's just a side note. Then, as the timeline progresses, we're chugging right along, business is increasing, and by 1974, the Friendly Corporation, I guess is whatever we're calling it, has over 500 locations in both the Mid-Atlantic and Northeastern United States. So, by 24 years after the half-gallon thing, and that's math, 24 and 15 is 39. See, I can do math.
Yes.
39 years after the first one opens, we have 500 locations, so we've expanded pretty largely.
Okay.
And at that point, about 5 years after that, in 1979, the company is purchased by the Hershey Corporation.
Oh, no. Well, I don't know.
We'll
see how that works out
so
for them.
Hershey buys Friendly, and then, I don't know if this was related to that, but this was like another fun fact on their timeline that I just thought was hysterical. The year after Hershey purchased the corporation, they break the world record for the largest ice cream sundae, which I don't have the stats on how big it was, but for the record, that record was then later broken again in 1988 by a company called Palm Dairies in Canada, and that ice cream sundae weighed 55,000 pounds.
Holy smokes.
Yes, that is what I thought you were going to say.
Yes, I definitely just didn't feel like beeping it later.
So it's a lot of ice cream. I don't know how much Friendly's made when they did the record in 1980.
But it's less than 55,000
It's less than 55,000 pounds.
Well, probably pretty close.
But pretty close. So, the timeline continues. More things are happening. Paul, you want to tell us about what else they did?
Yes. Moving on. In 1987, they began distributing ice cream in grocery stores. So they had their own brand, and I guess that they were expanding past just the confines of the restaurant business. People were probably just like really big fans of Friendly's at that point, so they just like wanted to make it more available for their customers. And also, yeah, that seems like something that Hershey's would do, making the product more readily available to people.
However,
in 1988, the Tennessee Restaurant Company purchases Friendly from Hershey.
Yep.
Oh boy.
So it's changed hands again.
Tennessee Restaurant Company. I don't know them.
I've never heard of them either prior to this this research. But yeah, so Tennessee Restaurant Company buys Friendly, they acquire it. They're the ones who make the executive decision in 1989, if you take a look at the next thing, the important thing.
I was wondering when that was going to come in. During my birth year.
Yep, you are as old... Well, continue reading it and then we'll say it.
Yes. In the apostrophe's S is added, changing the name officially to Friendly's in 1989.
Yes, so our friend Paul here is as old as the S in Friendly's. How does that make you feel?
I don't know. I like the idea more of the fact that I was born on the same year as Godzilla vs. Biollante came out.
Well, that is kind of cool.
Yes, that's my favorite film, too, so that worked out. That's a pretty cool coincidence.
I'm as old as Toy Story.
Oh.
I don't know if that what that says to anybody.
That's pretty crazy.
But I like it. Anyway, so after that, the apostrophe S is added, and now we've got the Friendlies we all know and love.
And in the year 2000, they were represented on the New York Stock Exchange by FRN. So they made it big time by that point.
And then, hard times did come.
Oh, dear.
Because they changed hands again in 2007.
To the Sun Capital Partners Incorporated. And this is a company that specializes in buyouts and investments. And they also owned Johnny Rockets. Mm-hmm. I've never heard of them, but...
You never heard of Johnny Rockets?
No, I've heard of Johnny... No, actually, I never heard of Johnny Rockets either, now I'm thinking about it. But I've never heard of Sun Capital Partners Incorporated. But they sound kind of... I was going to say a different word, but let's just go with the word sus. Specializing in buyouts and investments.
Yeah, so apparently their investment firm specifically focuses on buying out struggling businesses and then trying to revamp them.
Which is the sus part.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying. I get it. So, but after Sun Capital Partners invests in Friendlies and they kind of revamp them a little bit, they introduce in 2008 their free ice cream day promotion, which I don't have the exact date of when they do that.
It's just information lost to time. Apparently.
But they had a free ice cream day, and they, I think will still periodically do this.
And then they went bankrupt because of it, obviously.
Well, clearly that's the... well, we'll get to that. And then in 2009, Friendly's launches their social media accounts. That's where they post their new sundaes and things like that, their promotional stuff. In 2013, they break another Guinness World Record, which for the largest dessert party, and this party was held specifically on the lawn of their headquarters in Wilbraham, Massachusetts. However, Friendly's can't hold on to a world record for the life of them, apparently, because this one was also broken later. I don't know the exact year it was broken, but it was broken by the Downtown Ludington Board in Ludington, Michigan.
Yeah, they can't catch a break.
They just had a bigger dessert party than Friendly's. So every time they do a record, somebody comes in and decides to break it. So
they can't catch a break.
And then the final time, at least as far as I know, in 2020 is when Friendly's officially filed for bankruptcy. They had been dwindling for a while prior to that. And then I'm assuming it had something to do with the pandemic, probably.
That's around the right time.
To kind of put the final nudge.
Nail in the coffin.
Yeah, on that there. But they filed for bankruptcy, and then they were acquired by a completely different investment group. Yet again, the company is called Brix Holdings, which they also own other food companies. They own Red Mango Yogurt Cafe, which, funny enough, is on our list of things to try.
Is it? I've never heard of them.
It is. The only reason I've heard of them is because I have the giant list of various ice cream places. And frozen yogurt places.
Right.
Something called Super Salad, spelled SOUPER salad.
How silly.
Humble Donut Company, never heard of it. And Pizza Jukebox. Never heard of that either. But they own all of these other restaurant things. So at least we're back in the hands of food people.
Yes.
Instead of just investment people.
Uh-huh.
Which is good, I think. But At present, due to the multiple bankruptcies and various hard times, Friendly's has dwindled down to 103 locations.
God damn. Yeah.
In the United States. You can say damn, it's okay. That was not so bad.
Okay. Called it.
But you were right, yeah. You were off by 3. I was very impressed.
Yeah, literally, I was just guessing based on the fact that there are 2 left in this state, and there are 50 states.
Actually, there's 7 in New Jersey, apparently.
I don't believe that, but okay.
Well, there's a bunch of places that we don't go. So, like Hackettstown and Tom's River.
Which is such a darn shame.
I've never even heard of Elmwood Park, but anyway.
It's such a darn shame because Friendly's is such a great restaurant.
It is, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I definitely have, like, nostalgia.
Oh, absolutely.
For it, of, like, going as a kid with my parents and sitting in the booth and, like, ordering a burger and then getting ice cream to share, and it was, like, a nice little
I definitely
treat.
Went to, like, Denny's more when I was a kid, but I always preferred Friendly's. Friendly had a certain kind of atmosphere that was just, like, really cozy, felt very family-oriented. It was whimsical. Denny's was a lot more, like, straightforward restaurant feel to it. And yeah, Friendly's just felt like it kind of felt like a food carnival almost in some ways.
Definitely.
Particularly the one that used to be on Route 9 that had all like the arcade, the little like arcade machines in there. Do you remember that?
Mm-mm. I always used to go to the one in Hazlitt. There was one in Hazlitt where the Starbucks is now, across from ShopRite.
Bummer.
Yeah. It was like, because the Best Western has always been there, but that thing in front of it used to be a Friendly's.
That's a real shame.
Yeah, it was really, and it was like good placement too, because people used to stay at the hotel and you could walk to the Friendly's, and I don't know. Now it's a Starbucks, which I like Starbucks, but it's still, I miss
You
Friendly's.
would have preferred the Friendly's.
I would have loved for it to stay at Friendly's.
All right.
But on the bright side, we have some info from the present.
Okay, so in the Forbes article published in March of 2024, now it has a 3-pronged plan to revive it that includes remodeling its looks, involving new lighting, new booths, new tables, new murals, a fresh paint job, and new colors. 2. Refreshing its menu by introducing appealing items such as its cheese skirt burgers. Oh, I had that.
You did, I remember.
Yeah, that was really good. With melted cheese prepared on a flat top, and its tangy grilled cheese and Marionberry sandwich. And its tangy grilled cheese. I never had that, but I do like grilled cheese. And it doesn't beat up my stomach.
Well, it's interesting, too. I saw this on the menu, the grilled cheese with Marionberry. It's like one sandwich.
Oh, that's one sandwich.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like a grilled cheese with like a fruit spread on it as well. So you get the tart from the fruit and the salty sweet thing going on. It's like apparently supposed to be very good. I did not try it because I feel like if I'm leaving the house, I want to get something more substantial than a grilled cheese.
Did they have that there?
Mm-hmm. It was on the menu.
When we went the other day?
It was.
Oh, you should have pointed that out.
Oh, sorry.
I would have tried that. But what I did have was really good. We'll go over that at some point.
We will.
And 3, introducing a new marketing approach, which centers on come for celebration, spreading the joy of ice cream. It's marketing this message on various digital channels and partnerships with groups like the Jonas Brothers, who dined at Friendly's growing up in New Jersey. So, wait, I'm just going to scroll up for a second. Mm-hmm. But the first Friendly's was in Massachusetts.
Right.
Okay.
But, like, what they're saying is they're using... So they have, like, a whole new marketing plan.
Yeah.
To revamp and hopefully build back up the Friendly's franchise.
And I hope they're successful.
Me too, man. But they said that they're going to use these partnerships... like they have with the Jonas Brothers, who apparently, like me, have nostalgia for New Jersey Friendly's growing up, because evidently they're going to be using like those relationships to market and kind of replace Friendly's in the limelight with these like more popular individuals.
Right.
So
I just wonder if that means like Is it going to be, like, is New Jersey the center of Friendly's revival?
I don't think so. I think it's just that
particular...
This example, like the Jonas Brothers are from New Jersey.
Okay.
And so that's the example they used in the article.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool if we were like the center, which meant that we could have expected more Friendlies to pop up in New Jersey.
That would be convenient for us.
Yes.
But at least the one that we,
went to was really nice.
It's really nice, and it's not hard to get to. I mean, it's not super close.
It's a little bit of a drive.
It's a drive, but I mean, I'm used to... It's right down the street from where I work, so it's I'm used to the drive.
Yeah, you could veg out and probably, just fall asleep on the way there, and then you, wake back up, and you're like, I'm there.
I'll autopilot my way over.
Right.
But finally, we also have a quote
from the current CEO, Sheriff Mithias.
I think it's Sharif.
Sharif Mithias. Okay. We're not just built on food, but on food and ice cream as an integral part of the experience. So, definitely. I mean, that's always been Friendly's was an ice cream place, you said, before it was anything else, right?
Well, they've always had restaurant and, that was the whole thing.
Okay. So, it's been both. So...
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Wait, no, I'm right.
From burgers and sandwiches and... Oh, wait, no.
Yes, ice cream shop where you can enjoy a meal together. So, yes, I assume meal means food.
Yes, okay. So, that was always kind of their thing. They're not just built on food, but on food and ice cream as an integral part of the experience.
Did I show you Did you see the menu? The little oath you have to say?
You did not. Do you have it open in a tab?
I have the photo on my phone. I have to just grab it.
Alright. But, I don't know. If I was the current CEO, I would word it just a little bit differently. It says, we're not just built on food. And then they say, but on food and ice cream as an integral part of the experience. And that's always been part of the experience, though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if they wanted to make it not just about food, they would bring up something else that really makes the experience of going to the Friendlies.
I don't know.
Part of the experience.
Yeah, I don't know. But on the menu, on the front of the dessert menu, it says, and I will include the picture, but I'm going to read it.
Okay.
Please agree to this before ordering. I, state your name, swear I will save room for ice cream, and if I don't, I will be banned from Friendlies forever. Just kidding, you don't have to say that last part. Or this. Or this part. Why are you still saying it? I read that and I thought that was hysterical.
That's cute. I was about to say, those are some pretty harsh terms. But that is cute, I like that. I think I remember you reading that when we were in the restaurant the other day.
Yeah, your sister pointed it out.
Oh, so you didn't notice it beforehand?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, thank you, Kristen.
Yup.
Very cute, very cute.
Indeed. So now the moment you've all been waiting for, the actual ice cream. Let's talk about the ice cream. At Friendly's, they have quite a few signature dishes, things that they make specifically at Friendly's. So first of all, they have a large assortment of different hard ice cream flavors. They have, your cookies and cream, your chocolate, your vanilla. They have one of the specific flavors they have is called Hunka Chunka PB Fudge. And the reason I will talk about that in more detail later is because my sundae had that in it. But also just, shout out to my friend Shannon who recommended I try that because it's her favorite.
And you were pleased.
And boy, was she right. So that was exciting. But yeah, they have a bunch of different assorted flavors, and then after, more interesting than just their regular ice cream flavors are their various different sundaes. And they have a smattering of different fun, exciting sundaes to choose from.
And a bunch of fun shapes and sizes.
Yes. So one of the big ones that they have that's been on their menu for a very, very long time is called the Jim Dandy. Now, I have never had one, but this is what is in it. This is the direct, marketing material about what a Jim Dandy is. It says, they don't make them like they used to, but we do. Treat yourself to a classic Jim Dandy sundae with strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate ice cream with marshmallow, strawberry, and chocolate toppings of freshly split banana, sprinkles, and walnuts.
Yes.
It does sound very dandy, I would say that.
Yes, it does sound like all the good things that you would find in a typical sundae.
I don't know who Jim is, but apparently he's very dandy.
Seems that way. Then they also have the Retro Royal Banana Split. Retro Royal Banana Split.
Classic banana split.
Okay, I was about to ask. So it's just a classic banana split. Then they also have Kids Conehead, which is that like the fun little guy that I had?
Mm-hmm.
So just my guy. Let's see. It was just like a scoop of ice cream. And he had 2 button eyes with Reese's Pieces.
M&M's.
Oh, they were just plain M&M's. He had a cherry nose, and then he had hair made up of sprinkles, and then a cone on the top. And if you like really think about it, and I thought about it after like looking at it for a while, I was like, oh, that's literally just an ice cream cone, but it's in this like little metal dish, and it's cute, and like he's just fancy. So after I ate some of it, I don't remember the reason why in particular, but I feel like I just like when I had the opportunity and I like ate some of off the bottom, I kind of just like scooped everything back into the cone and ate it like a normal ice cream cone.
Yeah, basically we ordered that for the photo op, and then he just ate it like an ice cream cone afterwards.
Oh, I think I remember. It's just like I wanted the ice cream to be in the cone, and if I didn't eat it with the cone, I'm not going to eat a cone without ice cream.
Fair. Cone without ice cream is terrible. Right,
and that would be a waste. But he was really cute. Like before I like ate the nose and then the eyes, and then he was just an upside down ice cream cone in a cup. And also I like the fact that it comes in that little metal serving dish. And it always like keeps the temperature so nice, and it's nice and cold, and it stays that way for longer, and it has to be because it's inside that serving dish.
Can we take a quick segue out of the descriptions to talk about how they serve everything?
Because yes, go ahead.
I agree with that a lot. So either when you're getting the ice cream there, right? Because I don't know about to-go situations. I don't know what kind of cups they serve everything in. But when you're there and you're having the like sit-down Friendly's experience, they serve the like bigger sundaes in like this beautiful tall glass sundae dish. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I don't know how or why it changes the vibe. It is so much better than eating out of like a paper cup.
Or just a cone by itself.
Or just on a cone. Like we'll get to what I had later, but it was just so perfectly balanced. And it stayed really cold because of the glass. Mm-hmm. It like held the temperature. It was
special.
It was special.
Something really special about that place. They know how to serve their ice cream and keep it delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the Kids Conehead. And currently, right now, it's called. There's something called a Kids Monster Mash.
Well, they always have that one, but
they do.
Yeah, I'll add after you talk about this.
Okay, I just assumed it was a Halloween October thing, but it is mint chocolate chip ice cream with M&Ms and Reese's peanut butter cups. The M&Ms may contain peanuts. Some ingredients may contain nuts.
Yes, we have to be very specific about that. So
He's the guy with the little like Reese's peanut butter cup ears, right?
Yes. So typically, Friendly's has the Kids Monster Mash on their menu all the time. It's with the mint chocolate chip, so that he's like a green little dude.
Yeah, he's so cute.
And he's got the M&M eyes and a cherry nose, and he looks like he's like a little monster, right?
Yeah, he's like the guy I had, except he has those peanut butter cup ears, and then instead of a cone, he has whipped cream.
Yep. But for Halloween and Spooky Month, they have a variation of that.
Aw, he's so cute.
He is called, I don't know what he's called.
I'd call him...
Sunday of the month, Fang. He's called Fang.
Okay, that's appropriate.
That's adorable. So he's like, I'm not sure what flavor of ice cream this is, but it's a purple ice cream, so maybe like a black raspberry.
That's what I was thinking.
Or cotton candy, something of that nature.
It's probably black raspberry. That's the color that they use for it.
And he still has the Reese's Cup ears and M&M eyes and cherry nose, but he also has candy corn fangs.
And he's really cute.
And he's super cute, and we'll include a picture of that,
He looks like he looks like one of those 17th century baron hair wigs. You see it? Like, he looks like Bram Stoker's Dracula,
yes,
but in ice cream form.
I love it. Yes, he does.
That's a perfect way of describing him.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, other than the, like, various different sundaes and the kids' creation dishes, we also have fribbles and floats, which are the fancy names for Friendly's shakes. The fribbles are the shakes, and the floats are obviously, like, have to do with, like, having soda and ice cream together. You float the ice cream. And then also, fun fact, Friendly's has a mixed dessert where you have ice cream and your toppings, and it's mixed together and blended in a frenzy. Get it? Because that's what they're called. Frenzies. Instead of, like... They're blizzards, guys. It's just, I always go back to this, like, it's like the idea of a blizzard, but in this case, Friendly's calls them frenzies.
Or Ryan's calls them a mix-in. Or Dairy Queen calls them a whatever.
Well, Dairy Queen calls them blizzards.
Oh, well, whatever. As I said.
Rita's has concretes, and Carvel has the Carvalanche. This is just that.
Is this like a trademark thing? Why they can't just all call it the same? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I'm sure that Dairy Queen has the right to the name Blizzard. And that's why they can't, like, other people can't use it. And
there has to be a different name that's better suited towards it, but I guess Blizzard would make sense, because when a blizzard happens, it churns up all the stuff around it, and it just, like, makes it into a big ball of ice and
I don't know, then it would make more sense to call it a tornado.
Call it a tornado?
Yeah, because isn't it all mixed, whipped around, like, and spun together?
Or an ice-nado.
Yes. Anywho, that sounds like a bad movie title.
Yes, like Sharknado, but with ice.
Ice-nado. Something.
As long as it's not, like, NATO.
Whoa.
Yes.
I don't even know what to say to that.
NATOception.
Yes, indeed. But now the important thing, like what we ordered and all of the stuff with that. So Paul talked a little bit about his cone head guy. And he's cool. His looked a little bit like a clown. He
was a silly guy. He was cute.
He was cute.
That's literally how I described him to the waitress, who I really wish we got her name, because she was like the most impressive waitress I've ever seen in my life.
This woman, I want to be her when I grow up. Like, she was so together. She was so nice. Dare I say, she was friendly.
Oh, snap.
But she was so nice, and we had 6 people with us, because we brought our family to the Friendlies to, eat and have the ice cream with us.
Right.
And there were 6 of us, and we ordered a couple appetizers. All of us got lunch, and we had, like, some of us had requests or substitutions, like, can I get a side of this? Can you do this? Like, I asked for my wrap toasted, because I don't like when the tortilla is soggy, because I'm a picky maniac.
Yes, and then I asked for, like, switching out fries to, like, onion rings, and then
our brother-in-law asked for extra barbecue sauce. Like, there were specifics that everybody asked for their thing, and she didn't write a single thing down and got all of it correct.
It was, and, like, she was even going back and forth with us, like, having conversations, not like she was 100% focused on just the order, and she just remembered it.
Yep. We also learned that she spent some time in Spain and had 2 dogs? Is it 2?
I think it was 2 dogs.
2 dogs, and we learned a lot about her. She was very cool, but
I wish we knew her name. She deserves a shout out more than almost any, also her and the guy from Ralph's.
We don't know his name either.
No, we suck.
We gotta start getting people's names who serve us at these places.
Yeah, especially if they do a good job, they deserve a nice shout out. But This woman was super, super impressive to me.
Yeah, she was the best. She was the best waitress I think I've ever had.
Yes.
Ever. Anywhere. But so she was really cool.
Oh, and specify, which Friendlies was it?
This was the Friendlies in Clark, New Jersey.
So if the Friendlies in Clark, New Jersey is listening to this, this woman deserves all the praise in the world.
Yes, the waitress you have on staff who has worked there for 20 years and used to live in Spain, she's awesome.
Yes, keep her around for another 20 years.
Yes. So yeah, we really liked her. And then, when it was time for ice cream, she remembered all our ice cream orders correctly, too. It was crazy. Speaking of which, we have our orders, and then we also, this time, have some bonus orders, because like we said, we had 6 people with us. 4 out of the 6 ordered ice cream. So...
Yeah, and it was, them coming was sort of predicated upon the fact that we wanted to at least taste more ice cream meals.
Yeah, we definitely, what is that word? Influenced.
Planned?
Our family, no, that's not what I'm saying. Influenced our family to try to get them to order ice cream.
Oh, yes.
What is that word? We, encouraged.
There you
encouraged them to get ice cream after they were done, and
yeah, my sister, I definitely feel like she hit her limit really quickly.
Yeah,
on that.
she struggled. Our brother-in-law did not.
He's like a bottomless pit.
It was impressive, but
especially with what he got. But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. So Paul's talked about the Celebration Conehead a lot. Do you want to say any more about that before I talk about my thing?
No, I mean, it's kind of like the face of Friendly's ice cream when I think about Friendly's ice cream. I think about the cute little guy with the cone head.
Definitely.
He's just great.
Yeah. That's like classic Friendly's. That's what I think about too when you say Friendly's ice cream.
Yeah, I think of that cute little guy.
Yeah, he was cute. My sundae wasn't cute to look at, but it was delicious. So
yes, you liked it quite a bit.
Shout out to Shannon once again. I got the Hunka Chunka PB Fudge sundae.
Shannon.
My friend Shannon suggested I try the flavor.
I was about to say, did you spontaneously remember the waitress's name?
No, I don't think her name was Shannon.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was?
Yeah, that would be definitely a coincidence.
I don't know. But she suggested I try this flavor. It's got chocolate and peanut butter and fudge and peanuts in the ice cream. So obviously, don't try this if you have a peanut allergy.
Yes.
However, I do not, and I love peanuts. So I was thrilled with this scenario. So it comes with the ice cream, which has all this stuff in it already. Hot fudge. Did it have whipped cream? It had to have whipped cream.
I think it had it. If it, I don't know if it had very much, but
I don't like a lot of whipped cream, so we've talked about this in the past, so it didn't affect me. Yeah, it had some.
It had some on the top.
And it had a cherry, which I love. I love maraschino cherries. I don't know if I've talked about that enough.
No, I don't think you have.
We are 13 episodes in here, and I'm
just amazed that you
haven't mentioned it. I love maraschino cherries. I think they are fantastic.
You could eat the whole bottle if it was put in front of you.
I could. I won't because so fun fact, my grandmother is allergic to sulfites.
Really?
And apparently there's trace amounts in maraschino cherries. And she likes them like I do. And she ate a lot once and then had an allergic reaction.
Oh dear.
So I try not to eat too many just in case it's genetic in some way. But I love maraschino cherries. I could eat a whole jar. I won't because I'll have a stomachache. But
I've done that in the past when I was a kid.
Oh, did you have a stomachache?
I don't remember. I think I had an iron stomach when I was a kid. I used to be able to eat like an entire bag of Warheads in one sitting. Not a small bag, a big bag. An entire big bag of Warheads in one sitting. And I mean, I didn't die.
Well, that's good.
Like, I had an iron stomach when it came to sour. But now I do not. Sour. I cannot do sour anymore. I'm pretty sure that my tongue still has damage from, like, all the Warheads that I consumed when I was a kid. Just, like, chemical burns.
I believe it.
I was
listening to a podcast once, and I don't remember the context of why he did this. But one of the guest speakers on the podcast had a thing where he had one of those, like, ultra sour Warheads and he held it in his mouth for a while. Like,
what kind of...
Like, sucked on it and it was, like, in his mouth, like, in his cheek.
What a fool.
And it burned a hole in the inside of his cheek and he had to, like, get dental, like, oral surgery work done.
Jesus
on
Christ.
The inside of his face from Warheads. So, I would just say, as a general rule, I don't like sour candy. If you're gonna eat sour candy, do so responsibly, because you could end up at the oral surgeon.
Yeah, I have a student named... giving a shout out to... Oh. And, he told me that he once ate so many green peppermints that he, like... burned a hole in his stomach and got an ulcer.
That's horrific. I wouldn't think mint would do that, though.
I wouldn't think so either, but apparently it did. Totally messed him up.
That's terrifying. I'm gonna have to start putting a limit on the lifesavers I keep in my classroom.
Yeah.
I don't want to give any kids ulcers.
I think he, like, ate, like, an entire bag.
Okay, no one takes that much.
Or two in one sitting.
Yeah, no one takes that much.
He was addicted to them.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad that he's okay.
Yes, me too. Good kid.
Indeed.
All right.
But back to the sundae. I don't know how we got away from this. Oh, maraschino cherries and then sugar and then candy and then okay. Back to the sundae. I loved it. It was such a good sundae. Like I said, the way it was in the glass serving dish, kept everything nice and cold, nothing, we've talked about this at length when things melt too fast and it changes the texture and it affects the experience.
Not that problem.
This did not happen this time. It was the perfect ice cream consistency. And it was just a well-balanced sundae. It had enough fudge. I don't like a ton of whipped cream. So it wasn't a big deal for me that there wasn't that much. It was, like, enough just to make it pretty. And, the flavor of the ice cream was really, really good, as well as the texture. So I have all good things to say about my sundae.
Oh, and as for mine, I never actually mentioned it, but the vanilla ice cream was really good. Like, yeah. It tasted like I also... Partially, I feel like my how would I put it? My standards were really lowered after the other place that we went to before that, and
we did come off of not so great ice cream, so even like decent ice cream probably would have been fantastic.
Yeah, but this was actually really good.
But this was really, really extra good, so it was, like, even more amazing.
Yes, I don't know, like, I'm assuming that was their own brand of ice cream.
Yeah, they made
it. Like, they must have made it themselves, but it was really good. Really solid. Very enjoyable.
Nice. And then our bonus sundaes that we have this time. So, Paul's sister, Kristen, got a version of the Reese's Pieces sundae. And the reason I say it like that is because the Reese's Pieces sundae, I learned this from our fabulous waitress, whose name I don't remember. It typically comes with 2 or 3 scoops of ice cream. Now, Kristen doesn't eat a ton in one sitting, so she asked if there was a way she could get 1 scoop, and the waitress was like, Yeah, I think we can make that work. And I noticed on the receipt, I don't know if you looked at the receipt, she didn't get charged for the full sundae. Like, the Reese's Pieces sundae on their menu is, like, one of the bigger ones, and it's, like, $7.50 or whatever for the price. The waitress only charged her $4.99 for the build your own sundae.
Oh, that's so nice.
Because it was one scoop and other stuff.
I
said, she's the best.
That's how you get customers to come back.
Mm-hmm. We like her a lot. But that had Reese's Pieces, whipped cream, peanut butter, cherry.
Yep.
You know, all the fun stuff. Sprinkles, lots of peanut butter sauce, and of course, Reese's Pieces.
Yes.
In the lovely metal serving dish that we talked about.
Right. She ate about half, and then I ate about the other half. And it was good. It was good. I'm not a real Reese's Pieces kind of person. I actually just had this conversation with a coworker earlier today. And, I realized I do not like Reese's Pieces. Not very much at all.
I don't really like them either, and I'm going to tell you something interesting that I learned at Friendly's.
Okay.
From your sister. Reese's Pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Don't have chocolate.
Which is crazy.
In them. Apparently, it's just peanut butter in the candy coating.
I mean, that's cool and all.
And that threw me for a loop. I mean, I haven't fact-checked this. You know what?
She's probably right.
I will not. I will now. Hang on.
And, yeah, I mean, that's cool and everything. But after, ruminating on it for a while, I don't like Reese's Pieces very much.
I don't either.
Oh,
yeah,
and
no,
yep, there it is.
Peanut butter candy in a crunchy shell. It turns out Reese's Pieces do not actually contain any chocolate. And that's why I think peanut butter M&Ms are the superior candy, because they actually have chocolate and peanut butter.
I think that Reese's peanut butter cups are just superior.
Oh, to the Pieces?
Yeah, and if I'm going to have... if I'm going to have peanut butter inside my small... M&M shaped things, it's going to be like the peanut M&Ms.
Have you had peanut butter M&Ms though?
Have I had them?
Yeah.
Few times.
They're my favorite M&M.
I like I'll have to try them again, but generally speaking, I like the Reese's with the nuts.
The M&Ms.
The M&Ms and the nuts, yes. Yeah. They're good. I could eat like an entire bag of those so easily.
I like those too. Those are good.
And they're really good in trail mix.
I bet.
Yeah, they are.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that was really good. I had about half of the whole thing with my sister. I enjoyed it, even though, again, I don't really like Reese's Pieces.
But was the peanut butter sauce good?
Yes, it was not creamy, but it was smooth, flavorful, tasty. It was good peanut butter.
I love peanut butter. I'm sorry to all the allergy people out there.
Yes.
But I feel you, because I bet you can probably have bananas. So, we're square. Anywho, our last bonus concoction.
Oh, it was a concoction, all right.
Oh my god. So first of all, I just want to preface this by saying, our brother-in-law Danny
is an empty pit.
Used to be a pastry chef. So he has a palate that, we trust in terms of flavor, and knows when desserts are made well. And also, he's very physically fit and goes to the gym all the time, so he eats a lot, because he works out a lot. So his metabolism constantly going, and we are always blown away with what this man can eat.
Yes, it's very impressive. It's like me when I was young. Before I got old.
Cue, flashback music.
Wah, wah, wah.
But he ordered for his dessert the caramel fudge brownie sundae, which I think is a newer addition to their menu. I'm not entirely sure. But this thing is massive. We have a photo.
It's massive.
It came on a giant plate, a dinner plate.
Yeah, with like a full-size dinner plate. Maybe even one made for a large steak.
And it had 3 big brownies. topped with 3 large scoops of vanilla ice cream, and 3 swirls of whipped cream, 3 cherries, and a giant heaping drizzle of caramel sauce and hot fudge.
I'm getting PTSD just looking at it again.
It was so freaking good. But I'm going to tell you, I don't know how he ate this, because this is a dessert that if I were ordering, there were 6 people at our table, I would have ordered this for everyone and gotten 6 spoons. Like, that's a sharing dessert. Yeah. In my opinion. This man ate everything except for, like, the last brownie, because he said it was getting to be too rich.
Half the last brownie.
Half the last brownie. We didn't even finish it. We tasted what was left to see what the brownie tasted like.
Holy crow.
Oh, it was so good, man.
I had 2 bites and I was like filled to capacity. I don't know how he did it.
Well, he had the ice cream, I think, to cut some of the richness.
I know, but also like that after having a full meal and then eating that.
Yeah, and eating that. I don't know, man.
And we didn't even eat anything really like the day before we went to the Friendlies. We went there hungry. So we had like our separate normal meals, and then we had the ice cream. And he did the same thing. I just don't... It's crazy to me that he could eat as much of it as he did.
Yeah, it was kind of impressive, actually. Especially since he ate his entire sandwich before that.
Yeah, so what kind of sandwich did he get?
Some kind of barbecue chicken thing.
Oh, yeah.
Also, as a side note, I know this is an ice cream podcast, but we did get real food, and it was good food.
It was really good.
I got a grilled chicken honey mustard wrap. You got a fish sandwich?
Yeah, it was like what was it, a haddock? It was like a fried haddock sandwich with cheese and tartar sauce. And I didn't think that would be good, but it was actually really, really good.
I was surprised by the cheese. The cheese threw me, honestly, for that. But you said it worked.
Yes. I guess I'm assuming it's like similar to what a tuna melt would be like. But it was really good, and it was very satisfying, and I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, I really liked my wrap.
And as I've said before, I've had that like cheese dress burger thing. I forgot what it's called.
Cheese skirt?
The cheese skirt burger. That was really good.
Yeah.
I've had their fish and chips before in the past. Very good. It's like this place is great, man.
They have
this
good
place is
food.
Great.
We had fried pickles for an appetizer and like tiny mozzarella sticks that we all shared.
Well, yeah. I didn't really like the mozzarella sticks personally because
you're not a big mozzarella stick eater.
Yeah, but also like they were so small, so all the cheese in there was like pretty thoroughly cooked and it like crunched. I
liked the mozzarella sticks.
Okay, there was just no softness left.
The fried pickles, though, were fantastic.
They were good, and I don't usually like fried pickles.
I love fried pickles. But, anywho, yeah, that was our, like, segue into real food for a quick second, because I think it's important to note that after all of this, right, we were very lucky to have not an official sponsor of the podcast, but in a weird way a sponsor of the podcast, because Paul's Aunt Ruthie refused to let us pay for anything. So. Yes,
a big shout out to my Aunt Ruthie.
Yes, thank you, Aunt Ruthie, for sponsoring episode 13 of the podcast.
Yes.
We will put your name somewhere.
I mean, we already said it, but yes, we'll make a little poster. We'll put it right here where you're listening right now.
Absolutely. But we broke down kind of the check in terms of ice cream cost versus the entire cost. And the ice cream, now mind you, is 4 sundaes. So 4 people worth of ice cream. $26.26. That's like really valuable. Especially since we got a lot of ice cream.
Yes.
Like, there was a lot of food involved in this scenario. Like, for the record, we got... That's around the same price to serve 2 people at Cold Stone. That's the same price to get... Well, that's actually similar to frozen flavors. But it's the same as, like, Rita's it's the same as 3 people at Dairy Queen. Like, we got a lot. Like, it's comparable to a lot of things where we paid a similar amount for less.
Mm-hmm.
So, this was a really good deal.
This was a really good deal.
And, sorry.
No, I was just saying, I love it. Go ahead.
I do too. And, as a additional side note, the entire bill was $151.83. And that's to feed 6 people, full meals, drinks, and desserts.
Yes.
That's and appetizers.
A lot of appetizers.
That's a lot of stuff for $152. Like, you and I have gone to dinner and spent $100.
Yes, and we've
Not
also...
often, but we have.
We've also gone to dinners and spent... Well, dinners with friends and spent far more than that.
Yeah, we're gonna try not to talk about that.
Okay.
We have a bonus content thing where we'll talk about that.
Yes.
Because we tried unique ice cream at a very expensive sushi restaurant, but we'll get to that in another extra toppings episode.
Right. So. It's the time.
What do we do here, man?
I don't know. We were talking about it a little bit when we were, like, on the way home. And I have, like, 2 different thoughts. And first thought, it is so high quality. Like, it's really hard to, like, wrap my mind around how good Friendly's is. And it makes me so sad that they're just, like, almost extinct in the wild. Like, you know how that there are multiple levels of an animal's, like, threatened, I guess. Maybe they're even, like, a level past threatened. Yes, like, full-on endangered. They are an endangered species, Friendlies. But it's so good. It's just so good, and it's such a shame that there's not more of them. So,
okay.
My thoughts into where it would be on the tier list is pretty much between 2 things. It is either the low end of S tier or the high end of A tier. Like, it's hard for me to decide. Like, the front of A tier or the end of S tier. And so, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I've pulled up the tier list.
Yes.
For reference. And if you're not seeing it on your screen, because you're doing laundry or something else while you're listening to the podcast.
Or I messed up somehow on the editing.
Just for reference. The S tier currently has Frozen Flavors, Ryan's Homemade Ice Cream, and Strollo's Lighthouse. The A tier has Nicholas Creamery, Carvel, Ralph's Italian Ices, and Frozen Yo Cafe. B tier has Rita's, Baskin Robbins, and Cold Stone. C tier is still empty, and D tier has Dairy Queen and Magnifico's. I think that it's a travesty that there aren't more Friendly's restaurants.
Absolutely.
I think that the quality we had at a place that is a chain was probably better than the other chains we've been to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it better than the independents that are in S tier, which is currently all the things in S tier?
Are all independents? This is a tough one. It's definitely not better than Frozen Flavors or Ryan's, in my opinion. I might even, like, question, like, now that I'm thinking about it, is Friendly's better than Strollo's? But it all depends on, like, what you go to Strollo's for. Like, Strollo's is very specific in its specialization.
Right.
It's there to do ice, Italian ice.
Mm-hmm. And it does it really well.
And it does it really well.
Are we taking... It's just it's just like the things on our review list, right? Creaminess, consistency, flavor, experience, cost, etc.
But you're asking if it takes everything into consideration, right?
Yeah, because I'm wondering if the fact that Strollo's is just, well, I mean, they have soft serve ice cream as well, but they're mostly Italian ice. That's like
that's their thing.
Specialty.
Mm-hmm.
Are we taking that into consideration that Friendly's probably has more options? But I guess Friendly's doesn't have ices.
No, they don't. But they have everything other than ices, including like blend-ins or twisters or whatever you want to call them.
We really need to make that chart.
Yeah, we need to make that chart. It would probably help these tier lists now that they're getting more and more complicated. So,
I think it needs to. I do think it belongs in the S tier. And I'm shocked that they're closing all over the place and that we don't have that many left. Because I think we should.
Absolutely. And I hope the other ones last.
Me too. But I do agree it should be in the S tier.
But it's just a matter of where. Because after you mentioned that, talk about Strollo's, the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, this place deserves to be an S tier. But it's just a matter of where. And the only two places I could think of would be either after Strollo's or before Strollo's. So what are your thoughts?
I'm feeling radical today.
You're feeling radical?
I'm
like
feeling
how radical?
I'm feeling like I had such a good time at Friendly's, I'm ready to put it at the front of the line.
Whoa, really?
Which I know is crazy, and we're not going to actually do that.
No.
But I'm feeling radical, man.
Honey, I know what you're saying, but also, like, I really like Ryan's, and I really like frozen flavors, and given the choice, I would go to either one of those before Friendly's.
Alright, so I think that I can agree to put Friendly's between Ryan's and Strollo's.
I can accept that.
Okay, so we will be placing Friendly's family restaurant and ice cream.
Third place on the S tier list.
In the S tier, our third overall favorite so far.
I did not think that we were going to rate it that highly when we went into this podcast, but after thinking about it, they really have like such a variety, and all of the variety is good, and it's just like, and it's fun. And it's the most fun place we've been to.
And I mean, like, they had other fun stuff on the menu that we didn't try. Like, they still had their summer promotional stuff out, even though it is now October while we're recording this, but it doesn't matter. They had like ice cream nachos on the summer list with like waffle cone chips and fresh fruit and ice cream and fudge and stuff. Like, they are doing really cool things with their ice cream that can't be, like, overlooked. And I think that even though, like, this is a big deal for us, I think, because this is our first chain to crack the top.
Yeah. This place deserves it. Definitely.
And it deserves it very much. So, thank you, Friendly's. We were happy to go to you, and we hope you continue to thrive.
Yes.
So...
That was definitely an unexpected.
Yeah, very huge range the last two episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, last, very back and forth these days. But you're satisfied. I am satisfied as well. Very much
so.
Alright, anything left to talk about?
Well, we did another one of these. That was lucky episode 13.
Lucky for Friendly's.
Very lucky for Friendly's. So yes, we've done another one of these things. It is episode 13 coming to a close here on Scooped Podcast. As per usual, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to follow us on all the social medias using the handle at Scooped Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify so you always know where to go for your frozen favorites. And tune in next week for a review of another restaurant/ice cream shop. This one is family owned, and they say they are famous for their artisanal ice cream.
I'm trying to remember which one this is, but I guess I will just have to look forward to it.
You'll have to find out in episode 14.
Yes, I guess so.
Alright, thank you everyone for listening. We had fun.
Yes. And we almost cracked 110. Yeah. Friendlies has a very, very interesting history, and I hope there's more history of it to come.
Me too.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.